this crowd doesn't need anybody to tell them that they're getting killed by these refineries and the port pollution. The enormity of the problem is the reason you're here. And everybody in this room knows that you've got a situation on your hands where you are subsidizing the oil industry and the shipping industry with your lungs and with your very lives. So that my message is to you is to get mad. Get real mad, real quick, and tell people you vote. Because this is a situation that's not going to be cured by ivory tower discussions at the 12th floor of a think tank or learned dissertations that get into the details of the health hazards. The health hazards are overwhelming and very clear, and the information to show that that's true is readily available. Like my friend here said, we've got to put it to use. Now, quite frankly, this expansion has got to be stopped. If you sit by and just think about this and plot about this and talk to yourselves about this for the next year or two, you're losing the battle before it starts. The way you've got to connect your anger, your concerns, and the facts with the political process. I know that sounds hopeless to you when I say that here in Texas. It sounded pretty hopeless in Los Angeles about 15 years ago. It takes a fight, but the environmental impact statements that they have to make in order to justify their expansion are documents where skilled people can come in and stop them. The environmental community stopped the expansion of the Port of Los Angeles dead in its track in the year 2000, 2001, 2003. They had the same dream back then about expansion that you have here, but they were tied up. And then it became a campaign issue in the mayor's race in 2005 because the NRDC and the environmental justice people and the folks down in San Pedro Bay raised enough hell, went to enough port commission meetings, and told the commissioners in their face that they were murderers, and got the press interested in, and the new mayor that was elected, Antonio Villaraigosa, pledged to put people like me on the port commission and clean the place up, and we did. But even the environmental community was playing politics. When I took over as chairman, I got a report that said we want to have no net increase. That was their goal. And it showed that the port was killing prematurely 35,000 people in the past, and we would cut it in half. And I said, I am not about to adopt a program that's going to kill 17,000 people a year. And we adopted a plan to meet health standards. And that's got to be your goal. And we then got speaking to Merck's and the railroads and all the presidents of the companies that wanted to expand. And I just told them in plain English, you know, the only way you're going to get an expansion out of this port is if you agree to clean up the existing operations in the process. And so we adopted a green growth policy. No growth unless you clean up. And we had more persuasive power than any regulatory agency, because I was dealing with the president of the company who wanted to expand and wanted to make more money, and he knew damn well that I had the backing of the mayor, and we were serious. And we did the same thing with the truckers. They sued us. We beat them in court. We outlawed the dirty trucks. We made the railroads come in with clean locomotives. We did all these things, but it would never have happened if the good citizens of San Pedro and Wilmington hadn't gotten mad, real mad, and stayed mad. And they came to port meetings, and then they elected a city council person that supported them, and then they got big enough to where it got into the mayor's race. So you've got to collect. You don't need to do any more studies about the damage. all that data is available. EPA can supply it to you and they need to get interested in this problem, even though they may not have the jurisdiction or the influence that the citizens would have. And I think that organizations like the NRDC and others that did the litigation with the community in Los Angeles would meet with people here, and I suggest a workshop in January and lay out the strategy. You've got to get their attention by putting a stop to their expansion. And then you can talk to them. But if that expansion goes ahead while you're studying about what to do, you'll lose this fight before you start. But you can win it. We won it in Los Angeles. I'm proud to stand here today and tell you that the air pollution is approaching health standards. It's been cut more than in half. You can visibly breathe easier. We have electricity that serves the ports at the docks. They all have to use low sulfur oil. They have to go slow when they come in. And there are no dirty trucks anymore. We've outlawed them all. We've had a minor revolution in changes, but we got more to go. We need to electrify the trucks. And we don't need to, and we put solar power into at the port and not big coal plants. So but let me just close for this afternoon with this one little story about the Tennessee Valley Authority that I ran. It's in 33 and 34, and it was a poor area, and people expected a lot out of TVA, and the chairman came to a big town meeting like this in Huntsville, Alabama, and the mayor of Huntsville got up and said, "What's TVA going to do for Huntsville?" The chairman of the board said, "Nothing. Not a damn thing until Huntsville decides what it's going to do for itself, and then we'll help you." So I say to you folks, you've got to organize yourselves, get real angry, start going to board meetings, even if they don't give you adequate notice, and getting with your political representatives in this area. And it's going to be a long, hard fight. But if you really stick with it, you can win. Thank you.